Sometimes all I think about is you. It's been faking me out.
World champion Yolanda Chen spoke about the extension of the suspension of Russian skaters. Of course, this is inappropriate. If they missed a huge amount of money in their organization in order to maintain it at a normal level, then this is called shooting themselves in the foot or freezing their ears. Athletes from other countries will begin to express dissatisfaction because they live on this. Next season they will miss even more. The absence of competition in the face of our country, of course, will reject all spectators. Now it's scary to watch the cheap hinds of the world. Girls win, who barely twist triple jumps, fall 3 or 4 times. Moreover, the audience tasted the sweet performances of Russian figure skaters, and now they want to feed them with insipid Hendrix, Chen said. Alexei Zalesnikov. The decision was not surprising. I recently said that here the highest-ranking sports officials in all Western European countries do not decide anything at all. Big politics and big officials in political circles decide. There is special discrimination, discrediting of Russians and our Belarusian brothers. Therefore, this is not at all surprising. I immediately predicted what it would be, even to your own detriment. There is a brilliant phrase. Despite my grandmother, I will get frostbite on my ears. This is about them. They will do everything to discredit and discriminate against Russian and Belarusian athletes. This is all decided by the highest political circles, and sports officials carry out orders from above. They would, perhaps, be glad to stop all this, to cooperate with us. They are already shouting to their own politicians. Look at our losses. But they are not heard and will not be listened to. There is a political, informational war going on. So all this will happen. No wonder, said the choreographer of the group, Itari Tutbirds. The International Skating Union, ISU, has published its annual financial report. The union summed up the results of 2022. Quotes from the document immediately scattered in the Russian media. The organization practically did not receive income from advertising and media rights. The absence of Russian figure skaters affected. ISU complains about lack of money. Ito covered the losses due to Russia's ban. The ISU reserve fund will have to be spent. Next is the classic scenario. Enthusiastic officials, deputies and honored coaches predict the imminent collapse of the ISU. Even the leadership of the Russian Figure Skating Federation did not seem to delve into the document. And best of all, the tone of the comments of the Russian figure Beaumont reflects the opinion of Natalia Pistemyanova. The fact that ISU would have problems with income without our skaters was immediately clear. We knew this in advance. They just decided to publish this report now. No one is interested in brawls at international competitions where we are not present anymore. ISU will continue to lose money until ours are allowed. But the problem is that the report itself does not contain the conclusions broadcast by journalists and referred to by Russian speakers. And ISU has been losing money for more than a year. Problems with profitability began long before the removal of Russian athletes. Now let's figure it out. The reason for the confusion was the incorrect translation of one of the paragraphs of the report. Yes, sanctions against Russia and the absence of Russian skaters at ISU competitions have led to the fact that the organization received almost no income from advertising and media rights. But all this applies only to income from Russia. Here is the exact quote from the document. The sanctions against Russia and the absence of Russian skaters in ISU events resulted in basically no advertising and media rights fee incomes from Russia. In the translation into Russian, the media for some reason missed the last 2 words from Russia, and this fundamentally changed the meaning. Of course, revenues from advertising and media rights from Russia have dropped to almost zero. This is natural. It does not even require explanation. What about other income? With the sale of advertising and rights in the rest of the world, the ISU is doing well. There is an increase. 19 million Swiss francs. The audit is carried out in this currency, since the ISU headquarters are located in Lausanne. For television broadcasts in 2022, against 15 million for 2021 th. Advertising in 2022 also brought more plus 5 million compared to previous indicators. And the prospects for the coming years seem quite optimistic. Despite the negative consequences of the pandemic and the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, the current contracts assume a stable income situation for the next 3-4 years. Revenues for 2022 significantly exceeded those for 2021. Russia is indeed mentioned several times in the document. At first, due to a drop in income from the sale of advertising and TV rights in Russia, but this did not affect the profit for 2022. Contracts are concluded in advance, and obligations under them have been fully fulfilled. But in 2023, the loss from the removal of Russia can no longer be avoided. There is a specific figure. Lausanne predicts that about 1 million francs will receive less. For this, they plan to use the same ISU reserve fund it was invented, just for such force majeure situations. The ISU emphasizes that business ties with Russia are not critical for the organization. The conflict between Russia and Ukraine and the subsequent sanctions against Russia imposed by the European Union and the United States will not affect the activities of the ISU much. Business relationships between ISU and Russian counterparties, banks and service providers are very limited. Okay, it seems that in Lausanne they are sure that they will live without Russia. But why then problems with accounting? 2022 ISU really finished with a huge loss, 19 million francs, for comparison. The previous year went negative by only 250,000 francs. The numbers are not comparable. The main reason, and this is amazing, is not at all in problems with ticket sales or advertising. The basis of ISU's financial well-being is investments. The union owns a solid portfolio of bonds and stocks. The stock market crisis in 2022 led to such serious losses. The audit shows a loss of more than 18 million on the fall in the value of securities. Inflation and fluctuations in exchange rates also affected. In terms of financial structure, ISU is more like a Swiss investment fund than a sports organization, owned by the union and expensive Swiss real estate. The office in Davos, however, had to be sold, but the villa in Lausanne is still in the assets. Last year's FUCAT Congress was also expensive, costing 1.1 million francs. The ISU believes that this was offset by savings on previous meetings cancelled due to COVID. But photos of officials on the beach after the meetings still raise questions from fans. The rest of the income expenses had little effect on the overall profit. In the post-COVID seasons, more money was spent on holding competitions than before, but revenues from the sale of advertising and media rights were also higher. It is interesting, by the way, that TV broadcasts bring much more money to ISU than advertising. 19 million versus 6. It is important to understand that there is no division by sport in the report. It is impossible to understand what is more profitable for ISU short tracker figure. But from the document it follows that not as many people work at ISU as it might seem. The office consists of only 19 full-time employees. What are the conclusions? They are still disturbing. Difficult times await the ISU after the 2026 Olympics in Milan. The crisis in the industry, a recession in the economy, a drop in spectator interest. ISU has been talking about these problems for several years, but it seems that if you do not look for a way out now, ISU species may not get out of the hole. The advertising market has changed. Sponsors want to invest in top sports and global sporting events. Speed skating and figure skating are insignificant in niche sports, quote from the ISU report, so the interest of advertisers will only fall. Sports began to lose in entertainment to other entertainment formats. Advertising is moving away from TV to social networks, online and computer games. The most attractive advertisers in today's market are tech giants like Apple and Google, and they are not interested in ISU. All these are also quotes. The ISU admits that even the most loyal commercial partners are not sure that they are ready to continue investing in TV broadcasts amid falling ratings. The same trends reign even in Japan, the main market for the ISU, also an important quote.